Okay, today we're working on the 2007 Lincoln MKX, and we're going to be changing out the booster pack, the brake booster pack. The symptoms with this car is the brake pedal is hard when she presses on it, and yeah, the brake pedal is just stiff, and there's air coming out of the booster pack, she said, so she can hear a leak. So that's the common symptoms of a booster pack going out. And yeah, so to get started, we need to take out this air intake. So you just unclip these clips, pop this out from the slots to the left. Okay, then once you get that out, to take off the MAF sensor, you just pull this tab out. Then it should be able to just slide right off. If it doesn't slide right off, just grab a flathead screwdriver. And pry it out. There it is. Now, you gotta take off that back clamp. For the air intake. Alright, once you get that back clamp off, there's also a hose right here that's attached. Make note of that. Yeah, to take that clamp off, you just slide it with the flathead screwdriver. Don't put too much pressure because you could snap it. And there we go, that part of the air intake is out. Okay, now to get the battery tray out, it looks like there's one super rusted nut right there, one right there, and one right there holding it into place. So yep, 3 10mm hold the battery tray in place. Go ahead and take those out, and that should go ahead and free up your battery tray. Let's go ahead and try to take this out now. There's the battery tray. Okay, now there's 2 bolts holding in the master cylinder to the brake booster. And there might even be 4, I can't really tell right now. Let's look at the new brake booster and double check. So there's 2. There's only 2 bolts holding the brake booster in. Holding the master cylinder to the brake booster. And I'm using a 1/2 inch deep socket for this one. Okay, we got the throttle body off. It's looking pretty, you know, a lot of carbon buildup behind the plate. In front of the plate. Looks pretty dirty. But yeah, you're gonna have to unplug this clip that's on the throttle body. It's the same like the other clip. You just pull out the red tab and then press down, and this lifts up, and then you pull it out. I didn't get to show it, but I took off the brake master cylinder. It was 2 14mm holding those brake lines into the side of it. That needed to be disconnected to be able to get that brake booster out. Okay, so now that we got everything we need disconnected, let's go ahead and take off the inside part of the brake booster. There it is, there's 4 bolts holding the brake booster in. And there's also a little pin right there holding the brake booster to the brake pedal. So you're gonna have to pop out that pin, pop the pin out, and the 4 bolts, and this thing should be free. All right, now once you get the pin out, looks like that, has a hole in the end. This just slides right in there. So when you reinstall it, it just slides right in that hole. But yeah, once you get all 4 bolts out and the pin out, you'll be completely disconnected from the booster pack. So now we're not connected at all, and the booster pack is ready to come out the car. So when you're installing it, put this blue port where the air will connect to on the top right. There it is. Okay, let's check inside. Yep, prongs are in now. So let's go ahead and put on our bolts and our pin, and then we'll start reassembling this. Before you tighten down the booster pack, make sure you line that up first with the brake pedal, because now these are all 4 tight and I have to untighten them so I can align that up. All right, once you get your throttle body on, make sure you tighten the bolts not too tight, just a 1/4 turn past hand tight, because you do not want to snap those bolts. There's just a thin little gasket in between there, so you also don't want to ruin that gasket. So just tighten those as loose as possible. And then, yep, once you got your throttle body installed, master cylinder installed, double check the brake lines, make sure there's no leaks. That was just wet from before. And once you verify you got no leaks, yeah, you're good to go ahead. And I already clipped this back in, clip that back in to the master cylinder. What else? This got clipped back into the throttle body. You're gonna still have to clip this back into the air intake. This is the MAF sensor clip. You gotta put the battery tray back in, and pretty much everything else is self-explanatory. Just don't forget to put your clips back in. And then yeah, this should be done. The brake pedal was kind of loose after I did that job, so I had to go back down and bleed the brakes on the front driver's side wheel and the back driver's side wheel. But after bleeding the brakes, we got the brake pedal back to stiff, nice and firm, and the car stopped immediately when she pressed the brakes, so everything's good to go.